It's lights out and away we go!
What's up, guys and girls, and welcome back to the GT UK F1 podcast. And I am joined by my co-host, David.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Have you had a good week?
Better than a few people, I imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Unfortunately, we weren't out in the joys of Saudi Arabia. Maybe one day we'll get out there, but for now we're doing it right, nice back from rainy England as usual.
Why is it raining where you are?
I don't know, I've got the blind shut, but it's a fairly safe bet whenever whoever's listening to this is listening.
Yeah, it's not raining at the moment.
That's fair, it is.
No,
enough of the weathercast.
Yeah, I mean, it's where to begin, to be honest. Okay, so we'll just quick summary. None of us saw practice, unfortunately.
No, I've actually only got to watch the race on my phone, so there it goes.
I had it on the TV, but I also had it on my phone, and it's weird how much there is a delay between the two.
Probably is, yeah. I was down in a hotel in Warrington.
Yeah, but
so...
yeah, I'm guessing you were on Sky Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that much of a delay between it on the TV and actually there's about roughly about 10 seconds between the two.
Obviously, Sky worried about stream sniping in a race.
It's just really weird how there is 10 seconds between them.
Mm.
And I can't understand that. If it's supposed to be live, which it is live, then why is there a 10-second delay between the exact same channel but on two different devices? That I can't understand.
Or is that something a connection for networks and stuff?
No. Because they're both on...
I must have I watched it on my 4G because it's actually more reliable than the hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, where were you staying? Premier Inn?
A Village Hotels.
Yeah.
Actually, very nice. Well recommended. Not sponsored. Although if you want to sponsor a Village Hotel, hit us up.
I've never actually heard of them.
Neither did I till I booked this one, and ironically, the Luke Littler in the darts was sponsored by them. Literally the day after I presented them and booked them, it was just what was reasonably priced to where I needed to be.
But
yeah, send us an email, branddeals@gtuk.com, and we'll talk to you about it.
You know, I've now got to probably set that email address up.
I love doing this just to annoy him.
If you do want anybody wants to sponsor anything or talk sponsorship deals, you know where the business email is. You can easily find it. That baffles me. It's one thing that does baffle me, but obviously I was running, let's say, same Wi-Fi network, just didn't understand the delay. I get the delay on the radio messages, obviously, because, yeah.
They filter them.
They have to filter them, you know. That's kind of a given. Even though there is sometimes they can slip up and don't, certain team management can slip up and stuff like that. And Lando Norris. And they didn't catch it, but we are getting way delayed here. We're getting way off topic.
Us off topic? Never.
I suppose I'm just looking for a bit of filler, but hey.
So let's talk qualifying things, is what we both saw.
Yeah.
Practice, obviously, the only thing I know of, there was a couple of people brushing the walls, which isn't surprising on that circuit because they're never far away.
No, the only one that did was Williams.
Stroll did in a practice session, didn't he?
Yeah, he brushed it. He didn't smack into it.
And I'm sure he hit it. He broke the car, didn't he? From what I understand.
No, the car brake was the race.
I thought he'd done it in practice as well.
No. That was in the race.
Ah, okay.
What are you doing?
Having a drink.
Do it a bit quieter. Your mic picks it up. I mean, was there any? There was. No, because the only thing I remember in qualifying was Q1 and Guan Yu Zhou hitting the wall and bringing the red flag out.
Right.
Oh, Hulkenberg. No, Hulkenberg was Q2, sorry.
Yes, yeah, it was a power issue with the car, wasn't it, we think?
Yeah, they soon got that sorted then, didn't they?
I don't know, the car was pretty slow for the race, as everybody behind him will testify.
That was K-Mag. Not Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg.
It's the same car.
No, it's the same sodding car. I mean, Alpine, yet again, are a talking point here for qualifying. That car is a dog now.
Yeah, what have they got so badly wrong? Last year the car wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't.
What have they managed to do?
Yeah, what have they managed to screw up? I mean, McLaren, they are off to a good start this season.
Well, they're continuing this season where they finished last season. You remember last season they got to this point, it just took them...
Well, it took them longer than it should have done.
Yeah, but no, it's good to see that they've continued that form because we needed a few more people to take the fight to Red Bull, and they seem to be one of the best place right now. Oscar is continuing just to impress for still, second season.
Yeah. Which I don't know if
I tell you what though, I bet he's now glad he got himself out of that Alpine deal last year, looking at where things have gone.
I bet. I bet. Because I wonder if Norris is still feeling a bit fucking graded.
Over what?
Over Oscar. Just possibly a little bit for the fact that Oscar's had a sprint win.
I think if anything, for someone like Norris, it's just going to spur him on because he shows that the car's capable.
Yeah.
And he's just going to make him think, make him want it more, I would imagine.
I mean, the Mercs are a bit... I don't know.
The Mercs seem to be... The car seems like it has potential and then just seems to be missing that last little bit.
Yeah.
It's almost, if you combine Merc and Ferrari, you'd have a good competition to Red Bull. It's just one seems to be able to build the car and the other seems to be able to strategize. But they can't get one team to do both.
Because they qualified 7th and 8th. But if I quickly go back to Bahrain qualifying, I'm just having a quick look at the... Come on, work for me. Just having a quick look at the qualifying results. Yeah. I think the high-speed courses aren't... Because Bahrain's not really high speed. Jeddah is a lot of high speed. I think that's where the Mercedes struggled. Because I know...
Yeah, the Mercedes is a downforce car. It works well in cornering.
Yeah. Because... If you looked back to Bahrain and where Russell was compared to where he was this time, he wasn't that far off. But yeah, I think...
But you always get that. You always get some cars. I mean, like, look, for example, we know Red Bull's weakness is the very technical stuff, because look at what happened at Singapore.
Yeah, something that they'll probably want to correct this year.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see when we get there, but... Yeah, so every car's got its strong and weaker points. It's just finding the balance.
Of getting it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, Alpine seem to have got everything wrong.
Yeah.
And then for Gasly's to do, was it 1 lap?
Yeah.
And then the gearbox issues, it's like, man. Because he said a lot of team people left after the first race, didn't they?
2 people. Yeah. 2 quite important, your head of technical. Yeah, it's not looking good for the consortium that invested into Alpine.
What do you think Ryan Reynolds is worried?
Well, not just him. Probably. Not just Ryan Reynolds. You had the likes of somebody else. I can never remember who the hell he was.
Isn't Anthony Joshua part of it? Who was there? The boxer, wasn't he part of it?
Please hold caller. I'm actually going to have to fact check.
I can't. It's not. I must say, it's not something I ever paid particular massive attention to, like the ownership behind teams and that. 'Cause it's not. But I seem to remember it was something to do with him because he was there fresh from his fight.
If you really call it a fight, yeah.
I think I've said before, I don't watch boxing. I have no interest in it whatsoever. So yeah. If I want to see a good fight, let's go down the pub on a Saturday night. You see far better fighting.
Okay, so you've got Ryan Reynolds, Rob. I can't even pronounce his fucking name. Elheny? No idea. And obviously Michael B. Jordan.
Michael Jordan?
No, I don't know. Just says Michael B. Jordan were the first part of the team wave of investment on behalf of Otro Capital, who now owns 24% of Alpine.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, yeah, was he not living off the Space Jam royalties anymore?
I don't know if it is him.
I have no idea. Somebody in the comments, I'm sure, will be letting us know right now.
Part of the sport they enjoy. McElroy and Joshua. They have as well. Yeah.
I said Joshua, didn't I? So I was right.
Yeah.
McElroy, he's a golfer, isn't he? I think.
Is it him, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a golfer.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's Rory McIlroy. Jesus Christ. So he's got part of Alpine. Wow, how much are they probably regretting putting money into that sinking ship right now?
Do you reckon they're sat there wondering if that money's transferable to one of the other teams?
Well, yeah. I'd be worried. I mean, if it's... Because it's the fact it's in just the F1 team. I mean, if it was shares in Alpine, if it was the shares in Alpine, then they'd be doing all right because of the fucking road. Yeah, because of the road cars and all that crap. But the F1 team themselves, yeah. And
you mean you won't put GT UK's millions into it right now, eh?
Do you know where I'd rather put my money?
The 330 at Kempton.
If I had,
safer bet right now.
if I had that amount of money, I'd probably go bloody as weird as it sounds like, we'll probably go a bit into Ferrari, a bit to McLaren, and probably a bit to Red Bull.
No, we all know what really we get that money. There'll be a solid goal to chat to of you on the way into your local area. We all know that, but
No. See, Sauber, that was it. That was it. I don't know if it was you or if it was Alan. It could have been Alan. Apparently Audi have actually bought Sauber.
yeah, they were 100. Yeah, they were talking about that before the race.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Originally they were only buying, I think it was 25-30%. They've now agreed to buy everything.
But
That means
can they use Audi from 2020? Can they use Audi from 2025 in the name, or do they have to wait till 2026 and the engine regulations?
I guess
We'll find out.
I guess you'll have to wait. Yeah, it all depends, because don't forget, you had the likes of Red Bull had Aston Martin sponsorship name while not running their engine, so it's not that.
Red Bull had Aston. What?
Before Aston Martin became a team, Red Bull had Aston Martin sponsorship. They had Infinity name on the cars for a few years. They weren't powered by Infinity.
Yeah, they did.
So it's not that. I suppose as long as the manufacturer agrees to it. I mean, Audi could run. Sauber are running the Ferrari engine, aren't they? Out of memory.
Sauber, yes, they are, because they're known as Kick Sauber Ferrari at this point.
Yeah, so there's nothing to stop if they wanted to sticking the Audi name on that car with the Ferrari engine still in until 26 and Audi come in with their own.
Yeah, because obviously, you've got.
It's all whether Audi would want to do that.
You've got Williams, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Alpine got the Renault engine. Haas have got the Ferrari.
Because Alpine is Renault.
Well, I know that.
Alpine is Renault.
We know that.
Although the way it's going now, it might be renamed Dacia next year.
It was Dacia.
Dacia.
Oh,
Don't care what the advert says. Dacia.
Fuck knows.
Let's be honest, the Duster will probably get further in the race than that car's doing right now. It showed, didn't it? When was it the heavily damaged Williams of Albon was still basically outrunning it?
More on that very shortly.
Hey, don't call me a moron.
I mean, okay, so what I will say is, to round qualifying up, you had Sainz, obviously big talking point. You had Sainz in the Ferrari, who wasn't feeling great even from like P2, like FP2, FP3. Obviously, he got. Did he? Yes, he did. So after FP2, he got basically taken to hospital with
appendicitis.
Well, it was abdominal pain, wasn't it?
Hmm.
And they thought, originally he probably thought it was a bit.
Eating a bit of a too hot a curry out there or something.
Something like food poisoning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perhaps. But then when his temperature started to spike, when his temperature fluctuations were all over, they could tell there was something seriously wrong.
I must admit, this is where, obviously, because I'm not a medical person, I've never tried and deny it. I think did he say his temperature was somewhere between 37 and 39? I actually said to Ola Rav, because she works in healthcare, I said, is that bad? And she sort of looked at it as if to say, that's like call an ambulance now territory.
Well, generally you want to get that sort of temperature is more when you start getting fevers. And that's what it sort of, I imagine it must have been, like a feverish temperature range, which, 37 to 39. It's what they were using for a certain
certain virus that was going around.
Yeah, they were using them temperatures. Anything above 35.
Right, like I say, this is where I'm not a...
It's just the fact that I got a paramedic in the family.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was a shame that Sainz.
Yeah, I was going to... That's in my nose, because he's like... Especially as this season, we all get on about how critical this season is.
For him.
And because, like I said, I mean... I don't believe the Audi thing until we see it. You know what I mean? And all this talk that, yeah, he's in with Audi because of his dad. Until we get official confirmation, that hasn't happened as far as I'm concerned.
Who's in with
So
Audi?
His dad did a lot with the Audi, like endurance racing and stuff.
To be honest, if Sainz went to Sauber, that's a major step back.
Well, it kind of is and it isn't, because you're right, it's going to be to begin with, but you're going in at ground level in a new team. So if you go in as the number one, you can sort of meld. I mean, you're almost looking to an extent of what Schumacher did at Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, when Ferrari brought Schumacher in, everyone thought he was mad. Because he was winning championships with Benetton.
Yeah.
And Ferrari at the time were a joke. Kind of like they are now, to be brutally honest. But jokes maybe a bit strong, but you get what I mean. Now,
to be honest, Ferrari have had a better better start to this season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, we can't really, you can't say, oh, that Ferrari's a joke, because unfortunately one of their drivers got taken to hospital with appendicitis.
Yeah,
kind of not that's not Ferrari's fault.
No, that's not what I was getting at. When I said the joke thing, it was kind of more aiming at, some of the past endeavours they've had with strategy. I actually rate both drivers really highly. I still think next year's a mistake.
I prefer Carlos to Leclerc, if I'm honest.
I think he's he's the stronger of the two. He can be a bit...
Hang on, what do you mean he's the stronger of the two? Yes, he could... he's a one-lap fucking wonder with qualifying and has fucking shit race pace.
I mean, Sainz is the stronger of the two.
I was got to say, Sainz is definitely the stronger of the two. Sainz
obviously
used to prove that even with McLaren.
But, we'll get on to Ferrari, because I do want to talk about, obviously, Sainz's temporary replacement. Because, I think what came out of that one was an even bigger, why the frick are they employing Hamilton next year? Because...
Yeah, but the weirdest thing, okay, right, so let's put this in context, right? So Carlos Sainz gets taken to hospital after practice too. Ollie Behrman...
Yeah.
18-year-old.
Had just qualified on pole for the F2 race.
Yes, 18-year-old Britain qualifies on pole for the F2 feature. Was it the feature? It was either the feature or the sprint. I cannot remember. I'd have to go back and watch it.
I think it was the feature.
Yeah, I think it's a feature. And basically gets the call. You're needed at Ferrari.
Yeah.
And
I mean, are we into race talk now, or?
Sort of, yeah.
Because if we're going to talk, we might as well talk Behrman now, because of what I thought was...
Yeah.
A performance on par with what Liam Lawson did last year. Probably better, actually, than what Liam Lawson did last season. I mean, qualifying 11th, yeah, wasn't quite where for Ferrari to be, but the lad had done one practice session.
He had what? He had one practice session. The car would be completely different to him. More horsepower under his foot.
Oh, they said this is like 12 kilometres an hour, 12 seconds a lap faster than the F2 car.
Yeah.
Over a lap that's only 1 minute and 20 seconds anyway.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Now, say qualified at 11th, and I've said this before, and I always say this about your first race. All you have to do is keep it clean and bring it home.
And he did.
Yeah, but he didn't. He brought it home clean in the points. Scored points. You know, he did a solid race, and I actually put in the notes. Was that the highest ever percentage that a driver of the day has been won by?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was for definite. I can't remember what Kimi got that his last ever race.
I think Kimi got it because of the last race, but...
Yeah, but I can't remember. But what I mean is, he got 48. He got nearly half the driver of the day votes.
Yeah.
I've never seen one win by that, get it by that margin, which is well deserved.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But
he held off Norris and Hamilton, who were charging him down.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Ferrari are going to pay all this money for Hamilton next year, and he just got showed up by the 18-year-old in his first race.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what? It's the Liam Lawson situation all over again.
Yeah.
That I still don't understand. Red Bull. It must be RB, Cash App, Yippee whatever they're called this year. Ricardo must have some big sponsorship deals behind him. That's the only thing I can think of.
I think he does, to keep him. I mean, because I'm sorry, he's...
And you're a big Ricardo fan.
I am a Ricardo fan, and he's disappointing me this year.
I had nothing against him, but I think...
There's money. Money talks.
Yeah, I think... You got the likes of... As we've said before, I love you said it, I was listening... Is it the end of this year, 13 drivers' contracts are up for renewal?
Yeah.
So potentially there's going to be some seats going. Now, the likes of Lawson and Behrman, if Behrman's not in a car next year, an F1 car next year, something's wrong.
We'll see how he plays out in his F2 season.
Maybe not straight into the Ferrari, but surely that performance has got to get him a drive in, say, in the Sauber or the Haas.
It'd be Haas more than that. Well, yeah.
Well, if Sauber is still going to be Ferrari powered for one more year, I could see him sort of running a deal with him. Look, you take this driver off us. You run this driver for a few years on a... So see, I still stand by. You don't put a brand new guy straight into the top car. As a one-off like you did, yeah, but you don't do it for a season. They need time to learn racecraft, usually a bit lower down the grid.
Look at Russell.
Bottas. Both came through Williams before they went to Merck.
Yeah, but Russell got his one chance driving Hamilton's car.
Yeah.
He outshone Bottas.
Yeah. But both of them, most of the drivers have done it that way. They start off in a lower league and...
Yeah. And, I mean... He sounded... As weird as it was, even him when finishing, even when they spoke to him, how calm, even on the radio, how calm did he sound, even though he was being hunted by Lando and a 7-time world champion.
Just took it in his stride, didn't he? Because, let's be honest, he's probably, as daft as it sounds, the pressure in the F2 is probably almost higher.
Yeah, but did you hear what they said to him on the radio? Something
which one?
Was towards the start, something like go out there and have fun or something.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Let's be honest. Nobody was expecting him to go out and win it or...
No.
So, to be honest, he had no... If he'd have done half the race and stacked it, I don't think people would have talked overly negatively about it. Because well, it's his first time
in an F1
competing in it.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that's one of my points I'm going to bring up later about stacking a car, but if he'd have done that, we wouldn't have been sat here saying, oh, he's bloody useless, he's awful. We'd have been going, well, he maybe messed up his first attempt, but, he'd never driven the car competitively until that point.
No.
But to put down the performance he did, is superb in my book. So he needs to be on that grid somewhere next year. Maybe not top flight, maybe not Ferrari, but...
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, to be cheered, obviously... from where he started, right, so Behrman started what?
11th. he missed knocking Hamilton out of Q3 by
I
0.036
know.
0.036 of a second.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
he finished 7th, and did he not lead back all 4 Brits in a convoy, basically?
No,
Yeah, he was.
Russell.
I was Russell in front of him, sorry.
Russell was in front of him.
But I know all 4 Brits were in a line.
Yeah. Russell. It was Russell,
Russell,
him,
Behrman, Norris,
Lando,
Hamilton.
and Hamilton.
Hmm.
I mean, okay, even the McLaren strategy was quite bold with Norris.
Yeah.
Hamilton felt aggrieved. Now,
Well,
this
was
is
that early safety car when he was switched?
this is going to be interesting, though. Hamilton's going to Ferrari. Shouldn't laugh. How aggrieved is he going to feel when they do the exact same probably Merc had done to him? How's he going to feel then, eh?
Well,
Diva. I mean, the Merc, you could see the McLarens had some pace. I mean, Oscar, 4th as well. You know, fending off bloody Alonso.
oh yeah. Oscar's performing and brilliant this season. Oscar is doing all the right things
Yeah,
right
but
now.
Lando did good, right?
No, yeah, I'm not taking away.
It's nothing. It's not like that. We're not saying Lando's shit or anything. Lando did good. Just that whole thing of leaving him out. But I get why they did that with him and Hamilton, like Lando and Hamilton,
Yeah.
because of the amount of people that were in that pit lane. A few teams double stacked.
Oh yeah. And a few got it slightly wrong. I mean, Red Bull with Perez, that was an unsafe release. It was a necessary penalty.
Yeah, he could have been held, but coming out in front of bloody Alonso like that.
Yeah.
But the one good thing is, I will say, and this is going to be wrong because this is going to sound so hypocritical because the fact that I'd slagged the bastards off all of last year, the stewards were on point.
Bloody hell. Can somebody mark this down? You know, a point when Chris actually approved of the stewards. It happened. Somebody get the balloons.
No, but this is the thing. The stewards were on point. Look at, K-Mag, we'll get onto him. 20 seconds of penalties, right? Perez was given
5 seconds.
the 5 seconds. But there was none of that, we'll investigate it after the session.
Norris got away with a jump start.
Yeah, he was very lucky with that, but...
I mean, I'm not saying got away in that sense because, yeah, he probably didn't move forward enough.
Yes, but
honestly, I remember the days when a jump start was an instant penalty. Didn't matter if you moved past the line or not.
But even Alan had said that he jumped the start, and I said to Alan last night, I said, yes, he may have jumped the start, but if he didn't trigger his sensor on the grid box floor, which that's why I think he got away with it.
Yeah, he did manage to stop before because they often sit a little bit back. Because I think
yeah, they do.
There is a rule: you can't be too far back. But you don't have to be snug in your pit box. You are allowed your grid slot. You are allowed to be sat back, and he was clearly far enough back that he was able to lurch the car forward.
Yeah, but
not go beyond the line.
But because he hadn't triggered the sensor to indicate the jump start, that's why he got away with it. And for the fact that he realised he'd lurched forward and stopped.
Detective Russell noticed it, though.
Oh, we know Russell did. And I'm thinking, yeah, just wait till Lando gets older, you're off the track. They're all good mates, but still.
Oh, aye.
You can see, yes, there's quite a few people that are good friends, drivers that are good friends, but you can see as soon as they get in that fucking race car. God, a lot of them are quite bitchy to each other. It's all team game.
Oh, it's all mind games, and yeah.
Yeah.
It always has been. That's the kind of stuff the likes of Alonso was always absolutely brilliant at.
Which, coming back to Alonso and that pit stop, I even heard the commentator say that was Alonso. Did Alonso make? I don't know who it was.
It was probably said about how he made sure he hit the brakes just to prove the point that he'd had to.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't believe that was Crofty was saying that, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure I'm sure because it was Crofty and
Karoon.
Karoon this weekend, wasn't it? Yeah.
One of them had said it, and it was just like, are you actually allowed to say that? But I don't know. The race overall was a bit.
Yeah, it was. The first couple of races have not been thrillers, have they, by any stretch of the imagination? Let's be honest.
We're only on.
That's why I said the first couple of races. I'm not trying to review the whole season based off it. I'm just
we're
saying.
only on the second race.
But
yep, next race is the bastard one because it's the early morning for us Brits. And then
I'd rather take the early morning over the very late in the evening one, to be honest with you, with my schedule.
And then the one afterwards is going to be an early morning as well.
Yeah.
Because
Japan, yeah, we've moved Japan to this end of the year now.
They're probably trying to avoid the rain. They probably are. But it depends what the track's got on further down the line. But Williams, yeah. I'm sorry, but I think Sargent's days are numbered.
I think we need to see some serious improvement from him.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I mean, let's be honest. He's not done all badly wrong. He's just not there. I mean, if Albon's showing what that Williams is capable of.
Okay, even with wing damage.
I mean, if Albon's showing what that car can do, then Logan is a long, long way off him.
I was always sceptical about him when they announced him. It seems weird.
Well, let's be honest. Williams, because let's said Latifi beforehand, he was hardly.
Yeah, but Russell just showed him up as well.
And I know every Hamilton fan hears that name and still winces, but let's.
The one thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are probably about to get really pissed at me.
Just for a change.
Yeah. Stroll needs to go.
You're reading my notes.
I'm not. Your notes aren't even up in front of me. I can't see your notes, so that's bad on me.
No, but listen, my notes read Stroll still fit to be in F1.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like I need to clarify. I feel like I need to sort of preface that. Let's not forget, he won F2, didn't he? I think recall he did pretty well in F2 and F3. So let's say it's not pure nepotism that's got him where he is. Although there's probably still a good chunk of it. However, I kind of like the Logan and Alex situation. If Alonso is proving what that car is capable of,
clearly,
then I mean, Stroll clipped the wall in practice and then clipped the wall hard in the race. Now we were there praising Behrman for
but do you know
keeping it out the walls.
Do you know what made me laugh? Do you know what made me laugh with Stroll? Was the comment for his racing engineer. Oh, I hit the wall. Can you drive it back? No,
I'm in the
fucking wall.
You know, he's been in there a good few seasons now.
I don't like how they don't he seems to be the kind of almost the only driver they don't disclose how long the length of his contract is. Every other driver's contract details gets disclosed. Why doesn't his?
Because there's probably some
I'm sorry,
has he got a contract with an end date on it? Possibly not.
because, well, that's the thing. He's a team owner's son. That's why he's
Yeah.
got that seat. He doesn't.
Yeah.
No, I'm. Like I say, all the
He's had moments of all right. I don't
racing,
think he's not.
racing point.
He's not won a race, has he? But he's had moments of.
Yeah, but then he's had pure moments of dumb luck, like nearly sending Alonso yet again. Alonso, airborne when Fernando was
America.
when he was at Alpine.
Yeah, he just seems to have. I don't know. I think if
he
he wasn't the owner's son, I don't think he'd have that drive for as long as he's got it.
No, he lacks finesse.
And I just think
his racecraft isn't great. Some of the shit that he's got away with, move-wise, he's quite dangerous. And he's been allowed to get away with it. I'm sorry, but
with the way things are going and with teams, he's taking a seat where one of these young lads could be.
There's no point. Like I say, you have a reserve, Drugovich. Yeah?
I don't know a lot about him, but I've heard good things from what I have heard. Yeah, well, I get that, but I mean, from what I've heard, he's pretty decent package, like.
Yeah. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had him as a reserve. Now, what? There's no point in them turning around going, oh, we're getting rid of Alonso and we're bringing in Drugovich. Yeah? Because then you're just saying, oh, well, you're saying bye-bye to your experience.
Yeah.
You're saying bye-bye to the experienced driver. Stroll, yes, okay, he's been in F1 for a bit, shall we say. He doesn't have Fernando's experience.
No, when he was at Racing Point, he was alongside Perez, who
wiped the fucking floor with him.
Largely showed. I mean, Perez got a win in that Racing Point. Very strange circumstances.
From last.
Yeah, from being last at the end of the first lap. Yeah, that makes it even better.
From last to winning, yeah. One of
the old Jensen Button move, as it's known.
But yeah, no, I think Stroll's time is up.
I think there needs to be serious thoughts about it, and I know it's not going to be a difficult conversation with them, but
wow,
you know, there's not Drugovich. You got so many F2 drivers with potential. Get one of those in the Aston Martin for a couple of years.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You can't. That's the thing. You can't just get rid of your experience.
I agree.
Because where the fuck would Alonso go? Alonso...
He's going to the Merc, isn't he?
Well... I haven't come onto my Red Bull topic yet.
Hi.
Yeah. Wait till we get onto that one. And, yeah, Alonso at the Merc. You know, you've got Lando could go to the Merc. But Alonso, like Alonso said, I've heard Alonso say, I'm not going to be in this sport forever. And Aston Martin could probably be better than... I mean, Alonso proves that car is good.
Oh, yeah.
He can prove it. I mean, some of the laps he'd been putting in, you know, the times he'd been putting in, the sectors he'd been putting in, he was wringing that car's neck.
Let's remember, this time last season, we were discussing the possibility of him winning the championship.
Yeah, which was
That's the start of the season that Aston Martin had last year. I know they've not repeated this year, but...
Yeah. You know, but Stroll just doesn't live... He just doesn't live up to it. He just can't live up. Can't live up to Fernando. And, you know, it was all well and good, them taking Alonso in, but... What's it showing, Lance? Nothing.
What he should be doing.
Exactly, but he's not. You know, 5 laps and he binned it. Obviously, Gasly didn't finish because of a gearbox.
Yeah.
But 5 laps into the race, and he was out.
From a pretty silly error by all standards as well.
He got too close to that wall, clipped it, broke the suspension, broke, and bang, straight into the wall. It was what turn? What turn did it?
12 on it.
It's the one where it goes left and right dead quick before the second DRS zone bit. I think it's 12. But he clipped that inside wall. He took too much and clipped the inside straight into the wall and suspension brakes and straight into a wall after 5 laps.
Yeah, I'm saying he's one of the experienced guys. Like I say, you had the brand new guy on the field who managed to keep it out the wall.
And getting the points.
Which, that's the thing. Stroll was probably on for a points finish if he hadn't done that.
He would have been. He would have been. But his time's done, in my eyes. And can we talk about Haas first?
I was going to talk about Haas. What would you like to talk about Haas?
Well, okay. Well, Nico Hulkenberg. I mean, even in... Where was he at in quali? Yeah. So, obviously, Q1, Q2, didn't finish Q2 because of his engine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They said it was an engine issue. Then comes back to claim a point for Haas.
Yeah. With a big lump of assistance from his teammate.
But largely some of that was to do with K-Mag. Now, how were Haas allowed to... I know you're allowed to hold up. You're allowed to... I know you're allowed to... obviously hold up people. Yeah? But was that legal, some of that?
As far as I'm aware, as long as you're not going ridiculously slowly, which he never was, then yeah.
Yeah, but it was his other little incidents that...
Well, he got penalised for those.
I know he did. 20 seconds. Which... That basically put him last then, didn't it?
No, it didn't, did it, in the end? He lost a bit of time, but he didn't end up right at the back.
Or did he? He must have finished 12th then.
Because like Perez had a 5-second penalty, but he managed to be 5 seconds clear of.
Leclerc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you do that to me?
Why did what do what?
I opened the race results and it automatically went to the store instead.
Yeah, I'm guessing he did. Oh, Leclerc.
Perez and Yuki had 5-second penalties for unsafe releases.
Yeah,
Magnussen had 20 seconds, but still finished 12th because Ocon and Down were all one lap, obviously more than 20 seconds behind him.
Yeah. Didn't realise that Yuki had got unsafe release.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that one at the time, but...
No. I know Perez... Leclerc got the fastest lap, though.
Yeah, he got that on the last lap.
I mean, is there anything else you've got in your notes before I dive into to the Red Bull?
No, get on with your Red Bull rant if you want. Is this gonna be your another attack at poor Dr. Helmut Marko by any chance?
Slightly. I think Red Bull are in trouble. I think there's a bit of a power struggle going on in Red Bull. I think somebody is out to destabilize them. So, what do you think of this? The accuser, I don't know if I've asked you. The accuser got suspended on full pay.
Okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So Horner's accuser got suspended on full pay. Then Helmut Marko, it came out that he was under investigation by Red Bull themselves. But unfortunately, there was one of the bigwigs was there, and them two had been talking. Then it came out that he wasn't going to get suspended. It was a possibility that he was going to get suspended, which is rather a shame. He should have. But he was being investigated by Red Bull, even though he technically has... The weirder thing is, he has nothing to do with Red Bull. He's not...
He's an advisor officially, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not associated with Red Bull or the RB, the other team. He's only an advisor. Now, I'm not sure to what sort of stature, because apparently he was the one that ended up making the decision on law and on De Vries. Which ultimately that should have come from the... Technically, even the decision about De Vries should never have been made by Red Bull.
Yeah.
Because they are the sister team. Obviously,
Yeah, but they'll still control a lot of the power and the...
Yes, but they don't control the other team principal. And to me personally, it wouldn't have been a shame if he hadn't got suspended. If Helmut had been suspended, though, there was a possibility that Max would have walked away from Red Bull.
Oh, right.
Max came out in a statement and was very supportive towards Helmut Marko when he was asked about it. Now, the funny thing is, on the other hand, on the other side of the fence, when Perez was asked about certain things, he was more in line with Christian.
Right.
So the two drivers are very divided. I don't think Perez likes Marko after the comments that
Not really surprising after the way he sort of said about it.
Yeah, that he made and didn't go to Mexico for that reason, because if he had gone to Mexico, he would not be an advisor for Red Bull anymore because he'd have been lynched.
Not that we condone that kind of thing, of course, we have to say.
No. It's a shame, really. Sorry. But he's not my favourite person at Red Bull.
Really? Whoever gave us that?
The one thing I do disagree with to do with Red Bull, though, this whole Red Bull saga, and I will say it, is either you go transparent about it, or you order a total media blackout.
Total media blackouts are rather difficult, though.
No, but you know what I mean. You basically stop any media's doing. They can do it. All they need is a court. All they need is something from the courts to do it. And the thing is, the mind games are starting on the paddock as well, because it's like Toto piped up, Fred piped up about it. the more transparency as well.
Yeah.
I get why they want it, but it's not. The problem is, it's not F1 team related. But it is and it isn't.
No, because he's part of the wider Red Bull community, isn't he?
Yes, Christian is part of the wider Red Bull. And kind of Marco is as well. But if there was something more afoot, if there was something more afoul, shall we say, like obviously certain comments you've made in the previous podcast about it, she would not be by his side at races.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tension brewing between. There's definitely tension brewing between Jos Verstappen and Christian. That's been quite clear.
Yeah, but I think even Jos has the brains to not upset the apple cart while they're winning by the margins they are.
But he already has done. That's the problem. He has done. Jos has done. And that's not good.
I wonder if they're a little worried about this picture that came of Carlos Sainz Sr. meeting with all the Red Bull execs.
Why? Because you know who
would Carlos in a Red Bull
who
take
would,
some real competition to Max?
yeah, but you know who'd get dropped.
Perez.
Exactly.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is would that upset the apple cart in that I don't think Sainz would be as comfortable as Perez about being the number 2 there. I think he'd take the fight, and this is coming from a big Perez fan. I think Sainz would take the fight to him harder.
We know Sainz would take the fight to Max. But it's no different from Sainz taking to the fight to Leclerc. Look at Monza.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oof.
Look at Bahrain.
Yeah, I would hate to be the team principal at Ferrari, because if Hamilton gets to Ferrari as well, and them two get spicy, yeah, fucking hell, you're gonna need to change your trousers, and maybe a big checkbook.
All right.
Fuck. See, there's too much, and going back to the Red Bull thing quickly, there's been too much spun around.
Oh yeah.
People have been saying, "Oh, it's his dick pics." Right? Well, why is his fucking wife? Okay. Well, why is his wife being at the races with him?
Apparently it was more to do with like abusive. It wasn't something like that, from what I understand.
Yeah, and then it went round about bullying. It was like abusive, bullying, controlling behaviour. Right?
Yeah.
Now, what strikes me odd if that's the case, why is he not being suspended?
Because he clearly didn't find anything bad enough to.
Yes, and why has his accuser been suspended but has the right to appeal? It sounds like she got quite infatuated with a certain Mr. Horner. No, I'm being serious. That's what I'm led to believe off just by that. And this is me, yes, I'm contributing to the stories here. But from what you see, what I've read of previous court cases, what I've read through court cases, it seems...
He does like he's that boring.
I have a degree in law. I had to study court cases as part of case files, as part of coursework as well. Oh yeah, I could tell you some stories, boy, but I won't, not right now on this podcast. But for the whole suspension, for her getting suspended full pay, but yet still getting investigated, and him to be cleared by Red Bull, this seems...
It seems like whatever she was saying has turned out to be a load of bullshit.
Yes, there seems to be a bit of fabrication, and like I said, there seems to be a little bit of perhaps infatuation with Mr. Horner. That's what I'm reading on it from doing... Obviously, I've not seen any notes. I've seen nothing. I will say that. I've seen nothing, in way of the investigation. But from the signs that... And what people have, like, Sky been reporting back as well, by how they've been reporting, and what they've been saying during the build-ups and stuff, that's what it clearly sounds to me as.
Yeah.
And the fact that why would you try and destabilize your own team?
That's it. It was funny. I still say the timings of when he came out, I wondered if there was one of the other teams were behind a lot of it.
But it's actually come out as the accuser is a member of Red Bull. Themselves. They turned up for work and then they got suspended. But the suspension on full pay, that's a bit odd. Why would you suspend them on full pay? But I suppose it's
because generally speaking, in that kind of situation, you kind of have to, because unless you have there's obviously the suspension is not proven guilty. The suspension is just
the suspended pending further investigation.
That's it. Yeah. Now you kind of go. Now if you suspend them without pay and it turns out they're innocent, they can take you for a lot.
Oh yeah, it goes under a separate. Yeah.
Actually, obviously, your experience, you'll know more than
let's not go too legally with it. But yeah, the accuser can do that, and that's why hence why this right of appeal thing is there. That's what this appeal is. It's to do with their said suspension. But it's also appealing against the decision that's already been clearly made. But yeah, it's getting messy, and I wish Sky would stop. Like I say, either Red Bull come out with it clearly, transparently, or stop the media from spinning it and running away with certain bits. And I mean, Sky can be bad enough at times. We know that. Every media outlet can be.
Oh yeah, never let the truth get away with a good story.
But Red Bull,
they're not helping.
They're not helping things, but they're kind of showing that they're not backing. They're not crumbling with the amount of media pressure. That's why when the meeting happened with the lawyer, it was moved away from the Red Bull HQ. It was moved away from Milton Keynes to an undisclosed location because of stop the media.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. And getting back to the F1 bit...
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that at some point, don't we?
Perez had a good run.
Yeah, Perez is having a solid start to the season. Let's be
well, Max sort of is, but Max is just the per usual, just running and fucking away with.
Well, yeah. The thing is, you've got it's like a sliding scale thing. Max is doing exactly what we expected Max to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hadn't won both races, we'd be here thinking there's a problem. But Perez is actually looking like that number 2 slot, and that number 2 he got in last year's championship was probably about right, because he's there again.
Yeah, which if Perez wants to keep that, honestly, if Perez wants to keep that seat, then he needs to fight for that seat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because we already know they've been talking to Lando.
There was the picture of Christian Helmut talking to Carlos Sainz Sr., yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, and I don't know how much truth you read into this, all this talk of Max saying he wants to leave about 2028, something like that.
We'll see.
Now you got to think, if that's the case, that's probably still just within sort of Perez's time. And if Max did decide to leave and Perez could still be around, he could be an experienced guy for a couple of years alongside a young gun.
Yeah.
You know, that's... I can honestly see... Max appears to be trying to play a very similar role to what Kimi did. He doesn't like the media. He doesn't like...
He doesn't.
He loves the racing. He doesn't like the fame.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, because he was in the social media age, he realizes you have to do a certain amount of it.
Yeah. And Kimi was the exact same. Kimi enjoyed the racing.
Yeah, that's Max.
Hated the media.
I think Max would quite happily have every race happen behind closed doors. It'd be no good for any of us, but I think for him it'd be perfect. So I could easily see him.
Yeah, I don't think it's that so much. Okay, Max nearly risked himself to find that time during the grid walk for Brundle. But he's not going to... I don't think Max would snub Brundle because, like I say, Brundle's a well-respected person. I think he has respect for Brundle. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think Oscar needs to kind of learn that a little bit. But... Well, he sort of snubbed him a little bit, but they made up for it, I guess. But yeah, I think the problem is though with Max at the moment, with all this shit going on as well.
He detracts from the racing.
Yeah, because every single time they get him, they try to ask him about it and slip it in to it, and he's not interested in that.
Yeah.
You know, he said what he said. He wants to just get on with what he enjoys doing. And that is banging 1,000 horsepower car round a track racing.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
And being kind of good at it as well, it has to be said.
Which is kind of weird. From where Max started, you know, the cocky, hot-headed little shit he was, to now, yes, he can be a hothead, but I wonder if he's realised that it's being the cocky, hot-headed little shit doesn't get you anywhere.
He's matured. Let's not forget he was like 18 when he first came into the car.
Yeah.
I think the majority of us at 18 were cocky little shits.
Probably.
To be honest, I think I've only lost a little part.
Well, yeah, you're still cocky.
Still a cocky shit, yeah, I'm quite proud of it.
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. You might still have a little part.
Hey, stop talking to my other half, you.
But it's just... Oh, you twat. You've done it again, haven't you?
Oh, knocked off your bingo card, derailed Chris's train of thought.
Yeah. It's just, that's what it is. And I think the problem is, he's got a strong personality.
Yeah.
Quite a few of them do.
Let's be honest, he's being rather successful, and there's always going to be a lot of people who are going to hate somebody who's being rather successful.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, that's kind of how people are a lot of the time.
I mean, I could just say Nico Rosberg.
Don't do that. The Hamilton fans are still reeling over my Latifi comment.
Oh, we could just say Abu Dhabi. We could just go Abu Dhabi.
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
And like I said, okay, so what we say in terms of stuff like that, it's jest. To do with, you know, we don't condone any sort of hatred towards
No.
drivers, whether, you know, a certain driver. I mean, okay, like I say, Hamilton, you know, he's going to Ferrari. And he'll get a culture shock when he gets to Maranello, is all I will say. And he'll have to brush up on his Italian very quickly. But there's not many. Would you say, right, looking at the grid we have now, the driver lineups we have now,
Yes.
and this is before we finish, I'm putting this to you as well.
Yes.
How many of them drivers would you say would you class as experienced?
Well, let's be honest, every single driver there is in at least their second season.
Well, yeah, there's no rookies. Well, bar. Obviously, Behrman.
Yeah. There was no rookies, so depends where you define, because technically every driver there is experienced. Now, yeah, you've got Oscar and Logan only on their second season.
Yeah, but I mean, in experience in terms of like Alonso, Hamilton, Perez.
Oh, God, try and put numbers on it. It's literally, I think it would be pretty much everybody who isn't Piastri or Sargent. Because I'm trying to rack my brains who the next rookies after them will be. And are we back to like Norris?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Oscar and Logan are on their second season.
Well, you had Mick at a time, didn't you? And you had a certain spin.
Maze. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of who's actually still on that grid right now, who would be the next?
Lando,
I'm trying to think.
Russell,
Yeah, but Russell was 2 or 3
Williams.
seasons in Williams, and now has had 2 in Merck. You know, you're back to the likes of Carlos Sainz and that, and
Yeah. Sainz, maybe Leclerc.
so yeah, basically, okay, you can't class Sargent and Piastri as rookies, but you can class them as maybe inexperienced.
They've still got craft to learn.
Yeah.
Racecraft.
I think pretty much everybody else right now would almost qualify as a veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, if you're going to if you're going off experience, I would probably go. I'd go Perez along, Fernando, Hamilton,
Don't forget Ricardo's right up there.
Danny Rick, even though he's not showing it. And I would probably maybe go the likes of K-Mag and Hulk.
Yeah, don't forget Hulkenberg had quite a few years where he was out and he was everybody's reserve driver, didn't he?
Yeah, he was
But
he was super sub.
Yeah, he was collecting race suits like most people, like you collect Lego.
Yeah, but then you had Alonso had his gap, but
Yeah.
And it's just Alonso. To me, Alonso and Perez and Hamilton because of.
Well, I think because Alonso is the oldest on the grid.
He
I think the likes of Ricardo and Hamilton will be next, won't they?
Isn't Hamilton not like 30 odd?
Well, yeah, isn't he like 38, something like that?
I thought he was younger than that.
No, I don't think he's. I think he's older than us.
Is it wrong that that some of the drivers are younger than us?
No, because we're just. That's just something you have to come up with out of life. I don't think it's wrong when you see somebody use date of birth stats, year of birth stats 20, but that's just me.
85.
But yeah, he looks good for his age.
No,
Boy, I know.
1985.
So yeah, so he's older than me then. I think he's older than you as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's 39. He's nearly 40.
That's what I'm saying. Alonso's like 42.
Yeah.
Perez has got to be mid to late 30s.
It's, I don't know. It's kind of weird because
You forget how long I remember this vividly. Was it last year or the year before? We did an experiment where I looked back at a grid from 2005
yeah,
and got you to name, like, see how many names we actually remembered. I remember Perez was on it.
Perez is younger than me.
Well, that's not difficult.
Yeah, he's 34.
So he's the same age as me.
Yeah.
Christ. What the hell have I done with my life?
It's just, yeah, to think about it, it's like, yeah, but to look at them, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like Hulkenberg's 36.
Yeah, but we're talking about the grand scheme. Let's perspective it. That's not that old.
No.
Yeah, in terms of professional sport that isn't darts or snooker, yes, it is.
Well, yeah.
But in terms of the real world, that's not old.
Wow. Danny Rick's only 34. Holy crap. And it's just... Well, Bottas has got to be around that age then.
He's going to be well up there.
If Alonso's the oldest on the group.
You're not young with a mullet like that, trust me.
No. Jesus. I mean, Russell's got to be getting on a bit.
Russell's probably late 20s, probably 28, 29, something like that. So he's younger than Hamilton and all them.
Oh, we know that. And K-Mag's got to be in his 30s.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyway, driver's ages, I think, will be a separate podcast. I think we're...
But it's just, no. My overall feeling of the race was, it was good, but it's...
I think it was a better race than Bahrain.
Yeah.
But we've not had the big thriller yet. Let's hope Australia can maybe deliver us.
Don't deliver us with 4 red flags, though. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Where the two Alpines ran into each other. Let's be honest, the way this season's going, they'd take that.
I know.
At least they'd made it that far into the race with 2 cars to be able to run into each other.
Let's hope Perez has a better time of Australia this year. Anything you want?
No, I think we covered my points. Throw it open to the listeners a little bit. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think on the especially like the matter of like Stroll and that, which is where we're getting some possibly controversial views and opinions.
Mm.
You know, we'd always love to hear a bit of feedback from you guys.
And obviously, don't forget, guys, that there is the F1 Fantasy League, which we must quickly do.
Oh yeah.
Did you have to change your team name by any chance?
No, I don't think I did.
I don't remember your team name being called what it's called.
No, apparently there's something about it was it was under review, which I assumed everybody's got.
Mine's under review.
Yeah, well, apparently they obviously didn't. Don't know what they didn't like about it, but
I don't know because it's quite fun.
I didn't realize it had changed. Actually, you
Yeah.
just pointed that out to me.
Yeah, so his team name slightly changed.
What hasn't changed is the result.
Yes, I know, but I want to know how the fuck. Oh, you played the no negative card. Who?
Yeah, and I think that's same. I think Zhao technically got a negative because of his qualifying.
Yeah. So obviously, guys, even though we're in the season, you can actually still join.
You can join the one we have the one that's private for just the presenter, me, Chris and Alan. There's also a public one for you guys to join with us. to show us how it should be done.
Which is the podcast presenters versus listeners.
Yeah.
Still the
At
same
the moment,
result.
they both read identical because it's identical teams.
But if you go at the top of the Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, it's up there. The link to click on. And you will see. Basically, you'll be able to join that league and come compete with us.
Well, you can try and compete.
So you had Albon. So what? It didn't. Nothing screwed you though, apart from Danny Rick.
Yeah, but even then, he only got. There was no negatives or anything.
No, I know.
Which is, I think, where I did well. I compare it to you. No, you didn't get any negatives.
Alan did.
Hang on a second.
I got 0 points on Danny Rick.
That's all races. If we just go to Saudi Arabia, maybe that's where my no negative card kicked in. Because what it is, I bet Danny Rick had a negative result, but they didn't count it, so I got 2 points for him.
I didn't get any points for Danny Rick.
Yeah, because I bet there was a negative that wiped out any points he earned.
Yeah, it was. He lost. He lost 2, but got 2 for race overtakes.
So yeah, because I played that no negatives card.
You kept the 2.
Yeah. Because I actually got more points than I did in the first race.
Yeah, no, you did. Because if I got Bahrain, you got 168. I only got 130.
I got 178 this weekend.
And I got 138. So I only got 8 more than I did first race.
Yeah, so I extend my lead.
Alan had a shocker.
Yeah, he's not the best start to a season, has he?
No, well, Gasly let him down because of the DNF.
And Yuki.
Yuki let him down.
But then again, he's still got a little bit of money left to play with, so he could potentially make a change or two.
Yeah, I know. I'm keeping hold of one of my chips just at the moment for a certain race. I'm waiting for... possibly wait for our first sprint weekend.
Alright.
There's a chip you can play.
Yeah, it's the wildcard one you're thinking of, I know that.
No, I've already used a wildcard.
Oh, yeah?
I used a wildcard this race. I had Sainz in my squad.
Ah, you changed him out when he didn't.
I had to change him out.
I made a couple of changes after Bahrain.
I've definitely made a couple of changes for Australia, but hey ho.
I haven't done it yet. I'm actually quite happy with my lineup going into it. I don't think there's a lot more I could do.
I mean, at the moment, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, David's got this entire season. I'm not going to say that yet.
I cannot say that at this point. Even I'm not saying that. I'm going to try my hardest, but there's a lot of miles to be covered between now and then.
Yeah, but the problem is, we're playing this last year we played it differently, I think.
Yeah.
I think this time, if we are getting chance to be able to make team changes, we're being a bit more what's the word?
Strategic.
Yeah, that's it. About things here. I mean, okay, there's certain things that have changed within how they've done the Fantasy League this year, and that's... yeah. It's made it a little bit more...
I think it's made it better. I told you, I think last year there was a little bit too much freedom. So I'm not against it. It's that you're having to be a little bit more tactical, which I like that.
Yeah. I need to close that gap down.
You don't.
I need to close that gap down.
No, you don't. He's quite happy where he is.
Might be for you, but not for me, it's not. Is there anything else you want to add before we...
No. I think
Okay.
we've covered all bases.
So, yeah, we're going to end this one here. We've rambled for a little bit longer than normal, but anyways. Obviously, this will be out on a Wednesday, and then, obviously, the next race will be Australia.
A week on. We've actually got a week on. We're not back-to-back for this time.
No. Which, obviously, I'm aware of that, so we'll be recording that while I'm away.
Yeah.
And then, that could be interesting. But, obviously, thank you for listening, and obviously, thank you to David for joining as
Pleasure
usual.
as always. Pleasure as always.
And we shall see you for the next one. So until then,
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
goodbye for now.